What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. There's always lots of news in the wild world of wrestling, and of course, we've always got you covered. So join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including there have been multiple WWE firings, Vince's new darling, disgruntled WWE superstar's latest complaint, the hottest commodity in wrestling, Bob Holly's chilling Chris Benoit story, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. But let's waste no further time and get straight into the first bit of news, as there have been multiple WWE firings. PW Insider's Mike Johnson is reporting that Vince McMahon's conference call with WWE employees is full of doom and gloom. A quick summary of the call was McMahon just announced cutbacks and furloughs for WWE staff and the company overall, stating that these were hard decisions that reflect the current reality. McMahon stated the company would be cutting back on pay for board members and executives. Plans to move WWE headquarters out of Titan Tower to the new HQ in Stamford, Connecticut have been delayed. McMahon also stated they would be cutting the talent roster and overall headcount of employees. Some will go on furlough, others will be let go from their responsibilities. Employees will receive texts about where they stand going forward. Well, those roster cuts have already come through. As of right now, WWE has confirmed Kurt Angle, Drake Maverick, Kurt Hawkins, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Heath Slater, Eric Young, Rowan, Sarah Logan, Mike Chioda, Mike Kanellis, Maria Kanellis, EC3, Aiden English, Leo Rush, Primo and Epico Colon have all been released. 16 wrestlers have been released, including referee Mike Chioda. Holy shit. This news isn't shocking considering the WWE's financial difficulties and the promotion losing an estimated $22 million by not holding WrestleMania 36 in front of a live audience. In related news, Johnson also reported that WWE has announced they have officially postponed their annual meeting of shareholders, which was set to take place tomorrow. Expect other WWE announcements as the day continues. Of course, we will continue monitoring this situation, including how it impacts the WWE stock value. Next up, WWE wrestlers unhappy about working in pandemic. While fans are still talking about how the WWE has been considered as an essential service, WWE superstars are apparently unhappy with having to work the live editions of Raw and SmackDown at the Performance Center. According to Fightful.com's Sean Ross Sapp, when Vince McMahon announced that WWE was going to air its programs live, a lot of talent I've reached out to aren't happy about it. With the WWE making cuts to its talent roster, some superstars may be happy to get out of the WWE. However, don't count on everyone getting a job at AEW, as the promotion has repeatedly said it will be selective about which former WWE superstars it brings in. Next up, the Empress of Tomorrow getting a big push. While Asuka hasn't been a jobber to the stars, some of her fans have been disappointed by her singles push, particularly after her undefeated streak in the WWE came to a crashing end when Charlotte Flair defeated her at WrestleMania 34. Fans of the occasional Raw color commentator will be happy to know that Vince McMahon is apparently very happy with Asuka's performances of late. In an exclusive story, WrestleTalk's Louis Dangoor is reporting Vince McMahon has been impressed with Asuka in recent weeks and her push is in her future. Our sources noted that Vince and other WWE higher-ups have seen the Empress of Tomorrow as incredibly reliable during these challenging times. But what of Asuka's tag team partner Kairi Sane? Well, according to WrestleTalk, Kairi Sane's future with the company is currently uncertain, with a return to Stardom reportedly on the card. However, our sources have told us that regardless if Kairi re-signs or not, Asuka is set for a singles run and a push on Raw. Asuka has been entertaining fans of late with her over-the-top in-ring antics during matches, as well as her fantastic in-ring performances. Next up, who is the hottest commodity in wrestling? During a recent episode of his podcast, Arn Anderson recently discussed who he sees as the hottest commodity in wrestling. If you follow wrestling, you probably suspect it's former WWE superstars Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, aka The Revival. Double A talked about what they bring to people. I think they would be the hottest commodity in business right now, and I think everybody is going to be vying for them. Whoever ends up eventually getting them will be a much better company for it. Arn had nothing but praise for the duo, who many believe are headed to AEW, where they will work a long-awaited program with the Young Bucks. They're the most unselfish, giving guys I've seen come along in a long time, and they have that same mentality that Tully and I, the Four Horsemen, you know, the original Horsemen and the Barry Windham version that we had. And that was to go out and steal the show and make everybody in that arena just blow themselves up, either cheering or booing during the match. I think these guys have the talent, they have the ability, wherever they land is going to be a very, very lucky company. Anderson has spoken in the past about his desire to manage the talented twosome. Would you guys like to see the revival in AEW? And if so, should they have Arn Anderson manage them? This could set up a great feud between AEW manager Tully Blanchard and whoever his charge Sean Spears selects as his tag team partner, or could it lead to an alliance between the two Horsemen's wrestlers? Next up, Bob Holly tells a chilling Chris Benoit story. Life is full of what-ifs, as if people wonder how things would have gone had they chosen one path over another. One of the most chilling has to be the story told by former WWE superstar Hardcore Holly, who revealed to Jim Ross back in 2014 that Chris Benoit invited him to his home the same day Benoit killed his wife Nancy. According to Holly, he was off the road recovering from a staph infection. He called me because I had gone to Atlanta for some business up there and he went to the doctor. I had talked to him a few days prior to that and he said, "Hey, I'm gonna be home on Wednesday." And I said, "Well, I'm gonna be up in Atlanta, so, you know." He said, "Hey, why don't you come by my house and see me?" And I said, "Chris, it's your day off. I want you to spend time with Nancy and Daniel, and you don't need me there." He goes, "Well, I'm not gonna repeat how he said it, but he said, that doesn't matter, just come." He said, "I don't mind. Nancy doesn't mind, just come on and, you know, you can have dinner with us or whatever." Benoit was angry with Holly for not visiting him, but the conversation shifted gears with Benoit talking about wrestling. Nonetheless, Holly refused to stop by Benoit's house and wonders what would have happened if he had. In a chilling revelation, Holly told JR, "And then I found out that he killed Nancy at like, what was it, 4:30 or 5 o'clock that afternoon? This was like 5 hours after I got done talking to him." We'll never know, but it has to be something that Holly thinks about every time the Benoit case is mentioned. Next up, Kurt Angle talks why he put Drew McIntyre over so strongly. WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle recently spoke with Sports Illustrated about Drew McIntyre, praising McIntyre's rise to the top and talking about their time together in TNA, as well as why he let Drew defeat him with his own finisher, the ankle lock. Wrestling's Olympic hero recalled their time in TNA saying, "I know Drew didn't do as well as he would have liked the first time he was in WWE, but I knew he was special when I saw him in TNA. He looked great then, but he still didn't look the way he looks now. He worked his ass off, built his body up, and he looks fantastic. I knew if WWE got a hold of him, his career would take off." Angle would put McIntyre over in TNA, and he did the same for Drew in 2018 during a match on Raw. Angle recalls what led to him letting McIntyre submit him with his own move. "Vince McMahon came to me and said, 'We've got to make this kid. Just do what you have to do to make him.' So I sat down with Drew and told him that he was going to use my ankle lock. You can't ask for a more dominating win than using someone else's finisher on them." Angle's selflessness seemed to reflect his opinion of what a talent McIntyre is. King Kurt also praised the WWE's decision to put the WWE Championship on him. We finally have somebody new in the main event, and that's Drew McIntyre. He's a breath of fresh air for WWE. Now you don't need to continuously keep going back to Roman, Cena and Brock. Drew is the new guy, and he needs to excel this year. As Wrestlelamia has discussed before, Drew has everything it takes to become a megastar if the WWE pushes him correctly and lets him go from main eventer to megastar. The company seems to have been hesitant in the past about letting a wrestler get too big, but given the WWE's financial faltering and erratic ratings, it should shoot for the stars. Next up, Vickie Guerrero finds WWE treasure in storage. Former WWE personality Vickie Guerrero was recently cleaning out some space in her home when she found a very special item. According to Ringside News, Guerrero tweeted cleaning out some boxes and found a priceless gem of memorabilia. The item in question turned out to be a 2002 booking sheet that has some amazing matches on it, including a main event of The Undertaker vs Ric Flair. Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit also teamed up on this circle of bookings. It appears that this was the plan for all house shows between July 12th and July 15th, 2002. Jim Ross confirmed the item looks authentic and it's quite the piece of history. We wonder what other treasures are lying around in wrestlers' homes. And finally, a Jake Roberts update. Now you may recall WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts was stuck in an Atlanta hotel as he had to quarantine himself before he could return to his friend DDP's home due to the ongoing health crisis. Now Wrestlelamia is happy to report that Roberts is back at Paige's home and that DDP and his wife surprised Roberts, who is currently isolating himself, with an Easter basket and breakfast. The video can be seen on DDP's Instagram page. But there you have it guys, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.